Good morning, friends. How are you all today? Welcome back to the She Shed. My name is Jill. This is Floozie in the She Shed. I don't know what number it is. I'm not really numbering them. I'm just putting them out whenever I can. I'm really glad that you joined me. I hope that you will watch the whole playlist. This playlist goes all the way back to the first episode. So I'm gonna play my little music thingy and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I've been working on. So, how are you guys doing? I hope everybody is well. I'm not the best today, but I'm so good compared to, I know there's so many people that are hurting. There's so many people that are sick. There's a lot of people that are being displaced by weather. It is so hot. I'm almost chilly here in the She Shed this morning. And I'll tell you, the main reason why is because the way we do it here in West Texas, where this is for the new people, and a reminder to those who've been here for a while, and I love you all. Anyone who gives me a view, I really appreciate it. So I am halfway between Abilene and Wichita Falls in West Texas, central to West Texas. But we are a little west of that. So if you look, like right in between Wichita Falls and Abilene, we're not right in there, but we're over a little more to the west in a little bit off into West Texas. So yeah, so how are you guys doing? I finished something. You would have seen a thumbnail for it. And I wanted to show them to you. I showed everyone on my live the other day, but not everybody sees the lives, as I know, and I like to get everybody caught up whenever we get together here to talk. You may hear the air conditioners. That was the other reason I said that. Because I've got your surround. I use a GoPro to do my filming. And recently, I was able to, I think it was around Christmas time, I was able to buy a add-on for the GoPro, which gives me like a surround sound. So you may be hearing the air conditioners. There's not anything I can do about it. We are going to be triple digits again for the next week. And so we keep it really cold from morning so that as we creep up during the day, we can kind of keep that heat from creeping in on us. And I even, with 2 air conditioners in the She Shed, I even run a fan to kind of circulate, and it helps. Okay, I finished the boys' sweaters. This is, and I will link to it. I believe it's number 516. It's the Bag O' Day boys child's sweater cardigan, and it's got a hood. So let me show you. I'm just going to hold each of them up. Let me see. This is the larger one. I did something a little bit different on these. I did a little bit of a stripe on the here on the sleeve, and I also did a stripe across the just below the chest, and then I did a stripe down here along the bottom, and I think it makes it look really sporty. It's a very easy pattern to follow. Here's the hood. Now, the larger one, I did have to do some modifications, and I'll let you know what those are here in just a moment. The smaller one I did, well, at least I thought I did, exactly to what her tutorial, and that, again, that's the Bag O Day tutorial. I followed it. I think I have the pattern for this, but I didn't dig the pattern out. It's on a flash drive that I had bought from her. Some time ago I had bought the flash drive, and then I had given a flash drive away. And I believe that this pattern is on that flash drive. Here's the smaller one. Again, the stripe on the sleeve, the bottom, and here in the middle. And I tried to match these stripes so they're really close to the same place on the body. But for some reason, this one turned out much longer than I intended for it to be. I think that's okay. It'll be fine. So on the original pattern, as I said, I did it to the tutorial, although I really think at somewhere at some point I put extra rows in the body. That's what I think happened, because it seems longer than it ought to be. I'd have to go completely back and look at the tutorial and the numbers that she gives in it to tell you for sure. But what I did on the larger one, I did put a few more rows in the body here. When I started on the bodice, not the bodice, the yoke of the sweater here, you do so many, and then you make a corner, and then you do so many, and you make a corner, you do so many, you make a corner around. And I increased those numbers. And then that made it wider. And then I put a few more rows in the body to make it longer. I wasn't sure it was going to be long enough, and I actually went back and did a couple more rows before I put the bottom on. And then when I did where you go all the way around, I did an extra row of that also. And then when it came to the sleeve, because I knew the sleeves would have to be longer, I did extra rows in between the decreases. So where she said, you know, you did your decrease and then you did a couple of rows, I did an extra row. And that's how I made the sleeves longer to match. And I used the same hook size for both of them. I used an H, which is what she did in the tutorial. These are for my grandsons. This is a gift that will be going to them. I'm pretty sure they know it's coming. They're not going to remember from day to day. So this is going to be sent, and Mom's going to put them up, and then when it's time for them to use them, they're going to come out maybe for pictures. We'll see how that goes. But that is the boys' sweaters. I'll put another picture here so you can see the comparison of the lengths of these sweaters. And I would have thought that the smaller one would be just a little bit shorter, but it's okay. I think it's all going to work out absolutely fine. I had their measurements. Their mom gave me their measurements, and so I was trying to match the sweaters to the measurements of the boys, and I got really close to those measurements. So I think they're going to be great for this year. And then the little guy will have the bigger one as he gets older. That's the advantage to being the younger guy. I remember my daughter Carrie, she wasn't too happy about being in her sister's footsteps, and she always wanted to do things the same as her sister did. And I would say, but you're not old enough yet. But I can do it. Oh, I know you can do it. I know you can. But it's not time. That was a very hard concept, and I think it's the same for lots of the siblings of an older child. The siblings never really quite understand why they don't get to do all the things the older siblings do. You okay, Serbs? Okay. He's got to get busy because Mom's talking to the people. When Mom starts talking to the people, we start getting busy doing stuff. We get up, we move around, we get stuff, we get on a bone. He's not on the bone right now, but he's like, it was grooming, you know, because Mom's doing stuff. What else have I worked on? Not a whole hell of a lot. So here is the blanket that I have been working on with everyone during our Friday night crime nights. The last time that you all saw the blanket, I was down here where that marker is. And so now I have done this much here. I am trying to get it to where it is about 42 inches because it'll be a square. And this blanket is based on the grandma's knit washcloth. And that is done by doing, you cast on 3 stitches, you knit, then you knit front back, or you yarn over, knit, and then yarn over to make an increase, whichever one you want to do. And then you knit, and then you turn it, and you do that again. You knit, make your increase, knit across, turn, knit, make your increase, and knit across. I started out and I wasn't going to do the yarn over because it leaves a hole on the side. And then I decided that I liked the way that it was looking with this yarn. I will zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. It's giving it a really nice edge by doing the yarn over. So I'm liking that. And this yarn does this marbling on its own. This is the James C. Brett, and it's the Marble Chunky, and the color is MC45. It's definitely giving me fall vibes. And the other thing I'm working on that is giving me fall vibes is this one. Now I need to go and get something real quick, so give me a minute here. I had to go get a different bag. What I want to show you is this bag and what's in this bag. But for now, let me just get something out of here. Oh, I've made a mess of it now. Serves is on the bone. Oh, I don't have my sticker. Oh, here's my sticker over here. Right here. Serves is on the bone. So I'll show you what's in here in just a minute, but this is a bag that I purchased from Elizabeth of More Crafts. It's a beautiful big bag that I love. I love this. It's going to be great for this big project I'm doing. We'll talk about that in a second, but what's in here that I wanted to show you, I also have on my other project. Now this bag is a bag that I got from Knit for Brains. That's Laura Brady of Knit for Brains on Etsy. And she called this her double Dutch. So inside of this one has there's a divider and 2 pockets. So if you were doing 2 socks at a time, you could put both of your cakes in here to work your socks. And it comes, didn't come with it. I believe I bought this separate. I'm not really too sure, but I'm thinking I bought this separate, but it's the same pattern. And this is the needle keeper. And so your needles go in here, and then you close the snaps and they hold your needles. The yarn is this beautiful thing. It's just so nice. It is a very, very soft yarn. It is a gorgeous color that's bringing me in like a very happy fall. It is a plush MCN sock yarn. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. Now, I don't think that she offers this base anymore. You'd have to check her Etsy store, but this is Donna's yarn. Y'all hear me talk about Donna all the time. And the color is called Professor Trelawney. And this is how it's looking. Now this is a very old whip. You would have seen me show this at the first of the year, showing the fact that it was a whip that was in my whip pile, and that I was going to try to get it out and finish it. These were supposed to be socks, and this is one of the things I wanted to show you was this. It's a stitch marker, and it was also made by Elizabeth over at More Crafts. I'll zoom in on that also, because again my GoPro does not zoom on its own. I have to do that. And I didn't want to tear up the yarn with sometimes these earring backs can pull at the yarn just a little bit if you're hooking it onto your fabric. It's not bad when you're running it around with it and working with it, but So I put one of these other light bulb deals and then hung it on there. Okay, so I actually got the thumb gusset in here. I've turned these from socks into mitts. And I'm going to try to show you I have an issue. We'll get into that in the life update towards the end of the video. But I wanted to turn it into mitts. So see, there you go. That is our thumb gusset. So because these were going to be socks, they are actually a little bit wider than I would have originally made if I were making myself a pair of mitts. But I'm not sad because I'm liking the way that that's fitting. I have very wide, I have big hands, I have big knuckles, I have wide hands. To me they are. And to me, that is fitting really nicely and giving me this almost like a sleeve. And the intention is to wear this underneath a shirt. So I like that it's longer. My thumb just barely sticks out, which is what I wanted. And now I'm working on, and I don't know how much I'm going to do, but I'm working on probably about 1 inch, and then I will cast off. I thought about doing another rib for the top, but I don't know. I'm almost thinking what I may do for a couple rows is to do just a simple knit one, purl one for a couple of rows, not really like a moss stitch. So knit one, purl one, and then come back and do purl the knits and knit the purls for a moss stitch. And I think that might be all I really need. But yeah, I'm liking this a lot. The color is just beautiful worked up. If it's teal, it's teal, and you see there's teal in here, which is why I originally liked the yarn. I am sure I saw all of that teal in this whenever, well, actually this was a club. This was a club, but look at how it is, and this is how it works up. It's fun. Okay. Keeping things in this basket here, and I had it setting up here on the stool. But down here on the bottom of my cart, I have cast on another one of my shawl. So this is my pattern. This is called the Willow Arches Crochet Shawl. You can find this in the Facebook group. You can find it listed as a file. It's available to download as a file in the Facebook group. You can also find this if you look down below. I do have a link to my Ko-fi account, and you can go there and make a purchase if you would like to give a donation to the podcast, and you can do what it's set up. You can do whatever you want, and you can, for something to get for what, you know, if you wanted to buy a cup of coffee or something, you get a little something for it, you know, and that is a pattern. So this is done long ways. It is a different kind of I designed it so that it would be a little bit more interesting to do. So you do it, you start out doing it long ways, and then you turn it, and you do, when you do this middle section, which is this gold section, you do that down the side. and you work it back and forth. So when you get to the other end, you turn it again and you work it down the side again. So it's an interesting way to do it. I'm doing it in fingering weight. This was done in a light worsted. It was done, it's called the Willow Arches because it was done in Willow Yarns Denim Grace. In my bag here from Costellet's bags, I will leave a link. She is my cousin Karen, and this was one of her bags. It's got the Marauders map on the inside. I love this bag. I'm doing this version in fingering, 3 colors. We're going to have this color, which is a yarn bee, and it's called, no, this one is not the yarn bee. This one is a June bee, Junie, what was she called? June bug. She was called June bug fibers. She no longer dyes yarn, but that's who did this one. And this was a one of a kind. And it's 100% superwash, fingering weight, one of a kind. And then with it, the middle is going to be this color. And you probably cannot see it very well, but there's splashes of like a battery died. Okay, so Suburban Stitcher and Overcast. And then the third color is a yarn bee, and it's called Tabby. This one I've got I've got this one in what I call it a ball sack, and this one is by Amber. She was Amber's Yarn Shop. You can still find her using that email. She still uses that email, but her shop is now called Crafty Performers. She has yarn also, but she also makes bags, and I love these little ball sacks because you can protect your ball of yarn as you're working on it, but yet you can put it into your project bag. And it has snaps at the top, so while you're working on it, you put your yarn through here and you can snap these. Okay, and that helps. But you can also unsnap it, and you can fold those edges down like you do on other project bags. She may still have some ball sacks. I don't know if she'll have this one, but then you can do it this way so you can see. This is that color called Tabby. So these are my 3 colors. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this over again, and I'm doing it a different way. So instead of working it like the pattern does long ways, turning it and doing the center section long ways, you know, short but along the edge, and then turning it, coming back long ways again, doing it a little bit different. This time I'm going to do it in blocks. May have already told you this, and if I did, y'all, sorry. I haven't gotten much farther, but this is what that tabby looks like when it's worked up. And this is where we're at. And I've decided I'm going to do, and I'm using an H hook on this. Normally I would use a G, with fingering weight yarn, but I am using an H. This is going to be called Willow Arches Redo. That is what the pattern will be called, because we're going to do it in blocks. We're going to do this one, and then the other one we're going to work it along the edge, and then we're going to do the third block, and then there's going to be something around the outside also, I think. I'm not positive about that part until I get it finished and see how it looks, but I'm kind of thinking we're going to do something around the outside. So there's that one. I haven't done a whole lot on that, but I have worked on it. Now, the little marker that I was using on that project is one of these, and I got these also from Elizabeth at More Crafts. I'm wanting to make some of these also. I'm wanting to make some to sell too. She sells them. I got this little thing with something I bought from Temu, and they fit perfect in this little box, and I love these little things. But I bought that other one from her, and then I bought a set, and I don't know if I've shown you these. I couldn't remember. But I bought 2 sets of these. It's the beaded that I just showed you on the mitt. And I bought another set of the beaded ones from her in purple, and I bought a set of these in the teal. So the purple set I had sent to Chelsea, and then I bought the teal set for myself. So we've got this one, which is a skein of yarn with the knitting needles. We've got this one, which is a ball of yarn with the knitting needles. And of course, if it's teal, it's teal. And then you have the actual, just the ball of yarn in teal. And then I also purchased this one, which I'm thinking about sending to my daughter. It's looks like Jack Skellington. This one, Mandalorian. And if you know me, I had to get the rainbow. So I wanted to be sure and show you guys those, because I was not sure I had shown those here on the podcast. And I bought those at the same time as I bought this bag. Now in this bag, here's what I've got. I've got a project that I'm working on. I have not started this. This is next. This is Crochet sock, and I believe it's called something rag. Modern rag or something rag, but it's like a marbly color. And with it, I'm going to use Mellow Spun. Now these are Mary Maxim. You can get Crochet sock at Mary Maxim, and you can get the Mellow Spun at Mary Maxim. And this Mellow Spun is just, it's like a cloud. It is just so light and nice and soft. It is 70% acrylic and 30% nylon, 174 yards. It's 1.3 ounces, but it's 50 grams. So serves flipping over. We've got this color, which is medium blue. These are made in Turkey too. This is cotton. Then we've got dark aqua. I would call that hunter green, but you know. And we've got light mauve. These donuts have been through a lot, so they're not really staying together well. And then we've got dark rose. And I have 2 of each. Okay. Well, I don't have 2 of the cotton. I have 2 of everything but the cotton. And I am going to hold those together with the rag and make a Terra blanket. Now, I don't know how many of you remember when we did the Terra blankets on the channel. It was for Crime Night. I was covering the Tara Grinstead case, and I came up with that Terra blanket, and it was in honor of her. She was a teacher and a beauty queen, and she loved kids, and she never got to have kids because she was killed at a young age. And so I did a blanket, and that got donated to it went to Warm Up America. But I'm gonna do another Terra blanket with those. That's that. Now we're gonna talk about the live stuff. I'm still on the antibiotics. I think I looked today and I have like 8 more days of the antibiotics. If you were unaware, I found out that I have a blockage in my sinus on this side. This entire left side is blocked. I'm going to have a procedure done in order to open that up. And I got a date. What you don't know is I got a date. So I'm going to have that done on the 7th of September. I have pre-op on the 30th of this month, August 2023, and then surgery the 7th, follow up on the 12th of September. They're telling us that Dad's house will be here late September, first week of October. That's what it's looking like. So I thought, well, let's just get this done and out of the way before his home gets here, and we really have to do all the things that we need to do. Everything's going along great as far as his house. He closed on the house. We have the pad is in place to go underneath it. Yesterday we got all the plumbing done. We had, when my beauty shop was on that piece of property, which is the she shed. The she shed, if you don't know, was my beauty shop. I was a hairdresser. Still am. I'm still licensed to do hair, but I no longer practice. But I keep my license on hold, basically. And I don't have to pay anything, but if I ever want to use it, I can. I just have to reactivate it. This building was on the lot, and that's the lot in town where we're going to put Dad. And we're going to need to do electrical poles. We're going to need to do a lot of stuff. Well, we knew when we put my building on that lot that we had not really gone through the plumbing all the way to the alley where it goes. We did new line from the clean out to the building, this building. So we thought, well, if Dad's going to live there, we really need to have that cleaned out. So we brought in a plumber, and yesterday they did the whole thing all in one day. They brought in a backhoe. They cleaned a line out all the way to the alley from the clean out where the new was, took all of the old out and put all new line in. And it was a really good thing we did, because there was a spot that was found that was a little bit like part of that pipe was sitting in water. So it most definitely needed to be redone. That part is all done now, and now it's just waiting on the building so that everything else can get hooked up to it. So we're looking pretty good now. But I'm the middleman because I'm here and Dad's in Colorado. So anything that needs to be talked about, done, paid for, yada yada, I'm it. So it's been a pretty busy week. And it's been a pretty busy month. The other thing I was going to say was I pulled something. I did not know until sometime this morning I made the realization that we bought Mr. Fiber a new chair for his room. For the man cave. And it's a gaming chair, and they put this big box in the box that I have out at the gate in order for them to put stuff in there. Anything that comes that won't fit in a mailbox. Yeah. It's a big box. And I had opened the gate. I had driven up to the gate and left enough room where I could open the gate to go through it. Instead of pulling the car forward, I saw, when I opened the gate, I saw the box, and I just picked the box up and carried it to the car. And that box was very big. And it was kind of heavy, so yeah. I pulled something. So I pulled something down in my groin. So it's pretty sore. So now it's really hard for me to lift this left leg. I can't, because it's a strain. You know, one of those things, getting older. I'll live. Other people have much worse problems. Much worse. So I will live. Nothing is serious. Everything I have is just minor stuff, more aggravating than anything else. The surgery I'm going to have is not really minor though. That's going to take, it's not going to be pleasant. They're going to go inside my nose with a camera. You guys have heard of this. Several of you have told me that you've been through this. They go into the nasal cavity with a camera, and he snips something wherever the blockage is, and then that opens that cavity up to where it can't get blocked again, and then he cleans the whole thing out and washes it out with saline. So it's actually two different procedures. I will be put under for this, which is good, and the only reason I agree to do it. I'm a wuss. I admit it, I'm a wuss. So anyway, okay, I think that is everything I wanted to tell you guys. That's kind of the schedule right now. My other channel's still on hold. I have still been doing some diamond paintings. I had planned on doing a little video, but I haven't got to that. I will do my best to get that stuff in wherever I can. Just bear with me. It's coming. But I have not worked on them. I just haven't worked on them. There's just been a lot of life stuff going on. So anyway, okay, you guys. That is all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I hope you will like and subscribe and all of the fun stuff. I don't have any active giveaways going on other than if you leave a comment on the bottom of my videos, I'm pulling a name from the comments on all of my videos at the end of the month. And sometime in the next month, like sometime in September, I will do the drawing for August. And I will put all of those names in, no matter how many, if you make more than one comment on a video, you're still only going to get one entry. I like the comments, but you just get one entry. And then if you comment on all of them, you get an entry for each one. I hope that makes sense. And then I do a giveaway. So, okay, you guys, have a wonderful day and have fun today. And I'm sending big hugs. Y'all take care. Cerbs, you have anything to say? Cerberus. Cerberus. You have anything to say? No? Okay. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah.